You ever wanted to dive deeper into the crypto coins but didn't know where to start, and you know that Bitcoin isn't a great choice for you because the price is so expensive to get into? Well, this video is for you guys. We're going to be going over altcoins, which are alternative coins, which essentially means any coin that's not Bitcoin in the crypto network. Now, I am not going to be going over coins that have no value, no utility, none of that. I'm going over coins that actually matter, that are actually here to stay, and that actually you can profit off of if you play your cards right. Okay, you guys? So let's go ahead and get into our brand new chapter of altcoins. But before we get started, welcome back to Getting Digital with Deja. Some of you have maybe heard the term that Bitcoin is the godfather of cryptocurrency, and this is absolutely correct because in the beginning there was only Bitcoin. Satoshi Nakamoto made the first cryptocurrency and named it Bitcoin, but he deliberately made it with an open source code, okay? And essentially, in short words or easy words to understand, open source code essentially means that the source code or the foundation of this software, of this cryptocurrency, is open. It's open to any changes and any tweaks and things like that, and you can build on top of this foundation, take things away from this foundation and things like that. And that is exactly what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is like the basis of cryptocurrency, and other cryptos can build on top of it, can take different aspects of it and create their own coins. Okay, anybody, fun fact you guys, anybody in this world can make a cryptocurrency coin. Will it have utility behind it? That is debatable, but anybody in this world can create their own cryptocurrency coin. So you guys can get a clear understanding of what an open source code is, because that is the basis of everything that we're talking about today. I'm going to give you the textbook definition. So the first definition is source code. Okay, source code is a code that programmers can manipulate to change how a piece of software, program, or app works. So now let's go over the textbook definition for open source code. Software with the source code that anyone can inspect, run, copy, and enhance. If you have access to a software's program source code, you can make changes to that program, such as fixing parts that don't work correctly, improving parts to make them work better, or adding new features. Okay, you guys, so to put it in example, when it comes to source code, you can look at it as a recipe. It's your grandmother's candied yams recipe. Now, only your grandmother has that candy yams recipe, and she has it locked away somewhere inside of a book, and that's going to be just source code, okay? That's the foundation, that's the recipe. When you have an open source code, your grandmother is giving that candied yam recipe to everybody and allowing them to make whatever changes they want to best suit them and their needs and their taste buds. Okay, so that's how that kind of works. I feel like that was a really good example. So Satoshi Nakamoto did this purposely because he wanted other cryptocurrencies to be able to emerge easily without having to be formed from scratch. So you don't have to reverse engineer Bitcoin software to be able to make a cryptocurrency or unlock the code. He's giving you the code for free. And at the end of the day, doesn't it make sense for him to deliberately do that? Because when there's other cryptocurrencies around, it makes Bitcoin look more valid. More people are going to believe in Bitcoin if there's other cryptocurrencies that are circulating around. Now, if Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency that there is, it's a little iffy, it's a little rocky. But now we have literally thousands of cryptocurrencies with utility and a lot of things backing it. So it only makes Bitcoin look even better because Bitcoin was the original, was the first, was the foundation, okay, of it all, essentially. So I think Satoshi really planned that out really good. So all the other coins within the crypto world that are not Bitcoin, the original foundation of it all, are going to be known as altcoins, and that's what we're going to be going over in this entire video, you guys. Now, altcoins, ALT, literally means alts, alternative coins to Bitcoin. That's literally what an altcoin is. It's an alternative to Bitcoin, either trying to make it better or trying to enhance Bitcoin in a way, or just trying to do their own thing. It's just an alternative to Bitcoin. Again, anyone in this world can take the code base of Bitcoin and make their own cryptocurrency, you guys. anybody in this world can do that. You and I can do that. And I am going to have a video on how to create your own cryptocurrency coin once I actually do it, because I'm going to do it just for fun, just to make a video for it for you guys. So stay tuned. So we're going to be going over 6 different altcoins in this video, because in my opinion, they're actually all very important. And I'm going to be giving a little bit of a summary for each coin according to their white paper. Okay. So the first altcoin to be made from Bitcoin is going to be named Namecoin. I know, right? It's going to be named Namecoin, but that's the name of the coin, is Namecoin. And its little code is NMC. Now, the utility behind this coin, and when I say utility, I'm meaning the purpose or the function behind the coin, okay? So the utility behind Namecoin is, it was aimed to improve and provide a decentralized domain name service, DENS system. Instead of websites being limited to using domains ended with .com or .net, which is under the control of ICANN, which is the main government and the body for domain names, it instead made .bit, which is decentralized and independent from the centralized system. So nobody can control it or shut it down. Nobody can do that with your website. Now, the difficult thing about this, it's a really, really great idea, right? But the reason why it didn't really gain that much traction and that much adoption is because it was really difficult to find out how to use. The barrier to entry was extremely difficult. Like, just trying to figure out how to use it, how to get to the website, how to actually view the contents on the website and things like that was pretty difficult. And just making it in general was difficult. So that's why that didn't really succeed. I mean, you will see some websites with .bit on it. I will say I have personally seen that, but it isn't very popular. As you can see, you see way more websites with .com and .net than you do with .bit. But I mentioned it in this video because it is the first ever altcoin to be made. So as you can see, that was made from the source code of Bitcoin, but it had nothing to do with Bitcoin. Like, absolutely nothing. It's talking about websites, domain names, and things like that. Bitcoin is talking about money. Okay, so, but they were able to build that coin and manipulate the source code on that coin to create whatever utility they wanted. So you see how freaking cool that is? It's freaking cool. Thank you, Satoshi. So the next coin we're going to be going over actually has a lot to do with Bitcoin, and it's named Litecoin, and the abbreviation for that is LTC. And this was made in 2011 by a developer at Google, and his name was Charlie Lee. And the utility or the purpose behind this coin was to make a more accessible and easier version of Bitcoin. Okay, so there are 2 major differences between Bitcoin and Litecoin in the source code. And number 1 is going to be the transaction confirmation time. Now, the transaction confirmation time for Litecoin is 2.5 minutes versus 10 minutes for Bitcoin. 2.5 minutes for Litecoin, 10 minutes for Bitcoin. The second major difference is the maximum number of supply of coins that can be in supply. Litecoin has 84 million, while Bitcoin has 21 million. These are huge differences, but this was all made by tweaking little parts of the Bitcoin source code, okay? Because this, again, was created from the Bitcoin source code. And Litecoin is not like, it's not attempting to replace Bitcoin in any way possible. It's making it just more accessible to users and more friendly to users. It's like, I saw this thing where it said, it's like the silver to Bitcoin's gold, essentially. So they're working like hand in hand, but there are 2 separate things, but they are still working together to help, you know, build up Bitcoin at the end of the day. All right, guys, so let's talk about another coin. And this one is actually a meme coin, all right? Now, meme coins are essentially just coins that don't really have no utility behind them. They're usually made as a joke, and they gain like a lot of popularity from the community, and it boosts up the price to where it's actually profitable. But with meme coins, a lot of the times they get rug pulled. I am going to do a whole entire video on meme coins, so if that didn't make sense, just wait, okay, guys. But one of the most popular meme coins ever made is going to be Dogecoin. DOGE for its parentheses, right? This coin was made in 2013 as a literal joke, okay? But it got so much traction and so much support from the community that it ended up being a huge deal. And fun fact, you guys, a lot of people, including myself, before I actually dived deeper into the crypto world, thought that Elon Musk created Dogecoin. Elon Musk did not create Dogecoin. He just like heavily promoted this coin on all of his platforms, especially on Twitter, or aka X. Especially on X, you guys. So he was basically boosting it up, gaining a lot of support, and rallying up the price for this. And it was even used to buy Tesla merchandise. You can use Dogecoin to buy Tesla merchandise, okay, you guys? So they call like Elon Musk the godfather of Dogecoin, and that's exactly why. It's not because he actually made it, it's because he just heavily promoted it and just really like drove the price up of a coin that was initially just a joke. It was a joke, and people just put their money into a joke. That's why I make these videos. Don't put your money into a joke, y'all. Put your money to something with some utility, which is going to be the next coin that I'm going to be mentioning. So Dogecoin was the first meme coin to be made, okay? And also the first dog coin. And dog coin just refers to like a joke, a coin for jokes and giggles, okay? And another fun fact is about Dogecoin is it was not created off of the Bitcoin source code. It was created from the Litecoin source code. So the coin that we just talked about, it was created off of their source code, not Bitcoin source code. So I thought that was like a fun fact too. Now you guys, it's time for my favorite cryptocurrency, and if you have been following my channel, you already know what it is, all right? And that's going to be XRP, you guys. To the moon. Now I'm going to give you the white paper utility definition of XRP. Okay, the founders wanted to create a platform for banks that was designed to allow international cross-border payments to be completed in seconds at a low cost. Okay, so XRP is the native currency that is going to be used, okay, but the actual platform that they're talking about is Ripple. Okay, so Ripple made XRP. XRP is a native currency that they're going to be used. And I am going to also do a video about native currencies as well, so just stay tuned for that. But I just wanted to throw that tidbit in there. Now, it was created in 2012, you guys, and it did go through a few different name changes, and I thought that would be kind of fun to like put in here. So originally it was named OpenCoin, okay? Then they named it Ripple Labs. Now it's just Ripple, okay? And then Ripple made the XRPL, which is a ledger to where you can tokenize things and trade and do so many cool stuff on that platform, okay? So they have their own blockchain. Just like Bitcoin has its own ledger, own blockchain, so does XRP, you guys. And the cool thing about the XRPL is you can tokenize things on that ledger. I made a video talking about that as well, so you can go look at that. But you can tokenize digital and make like assets into a digitalized form. Like you can literally tokenize a house on an XRPL. So like you can make it to where your house is worth just a token. And you can put it in a token and you can trade that token. Isn't that next level, my guy? Like, I just feel like that is next level. And that's just only the tip of the iceberg of what Ripple and XRP are doing, which is why I believe so heavily into it and why it's my favorite coin. Now, of course, this is not financial advice. Don't go buying a whole bunch of XRP and the price goes from $3 to $1.50 and you be mad at me. This is a long-term investment. This isn't just something that you just like buy and wait a couple weeks and it's gonna boom. No, it's gonna take some time. But get in while you can. Just get in while you can. That's all I can say. Pause. Have y'all ever had these? It's literally just mangoes, chili, and salt. I usually get the just straight mango ones, but these ones are good too. I was feeling a little spicy today. So now let's talk about Stellar, okay? And the little code for that is XLM. So XLM is going to be the native currency for Stellar, okay, you guys? Now, Stellar is a lot like XRP, and it was actually created by the co-founder of Ripple, of XRP, and literally it uses the code base, or it used to use the code base of XRP, and its utility is very similar. Okay, you guys, instead of focusing on like cross-border payments, you know, for institutions and things like that, it's doing that same exact thing, but for person to person. So it's more so like, instead of banks and institutions, it's like aiming towards you and me. Okay, now I'm gonna give you the white paper like utility behind that. And Stellar's goal, very similar to Ripple, allows cross-border payments between any pair of currencies quickly and cheaply. Initially focused on person-to-person transfers, not institutions like Ripple, especially from unbanked people from developing countries who lacked access to financial services. Okay, unbanked people. Do you understand how amazing it is to be able to send money to someone and you don't have a bank account? Do you see how the times are changing? Not everyone in this world can open a bank account, but anybody in this world can trade crypto as long as they have internet connection and a device to be able to do it on. You do not need a bank account. And this is what Stellar or XLM is really focusing on. They're targeting those people a lot because those people really exist. You know, we live here in America and we're like, you don't have a bank account? That's weird. That's not normal everywhere. Everywhere doesn't, you know, they're not capitalistic like the United States. So some people might not have access to a bank account. And even if their country is a capitalistic country, they themselves just might not have freaking access to a bank account, okay? And so this is where it's making it to where it's easier to be able to do that. All right, and not for institutions, but for people, the regular person. And that's why that is like also on my top 5 for cryptocurrencies, because I believe that is monumental, just monumental to be able to do that. And it's changing the way that the financial world is structured as we know it. So as I mentioned before, Stellar was created on the code base of XRP, which is why it has so many similarities, but it actually ditched out in 2015 and created its own independent code base. So that's another really cool thing about these crypto coins. You can create your own code base to where you can just ditch the previous one that you built your foundation on. So one tremendously big difference between the source codes between Bitcoin and XLM or Stellar is that XLM can do transaction speeds, transaction per second, 3,000 TPS, 3,000 transactions per second, versus Bitcoin, which is only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 minutos. I mean, no, 5 minutos. 5 seconds. So XLM and XRP, the reason why I included it on here is because this channel is dedicated to allowing you to be financially free. I'm giving you coins that you, the everyday person, can actually invest into, okay? Not coins that are thousands of dollars. XRP be like at most $3, okay? XLM be cents, just cents, okay? Not even $1. So I thought that these were really great coins for you to be able to get into early so that you can maximize your profit off of it, because you have to remember Bitcoin started off at nothing. It had to work its way up to $100,000, okay? So it doesn't just happen overnight. Some coins it does, but these coins that actually have utility and everything like that, it's going to take time. It's going to take time for institutions and people like you and I to actually adopt it and make its utility and its price go up. So that's why I included those coins. Now the last coin I am going to include is on the pricier end, but it has an immense amount of support and utility behind it, and that is going to be Ethereum, you guys. And the name for that is ETH. So this was created in 2013, and essentially it was created to broaden the scope and the ability of technology on the blockchain. Now it can still act as a digital currency, and that's going to be Ether, ETHER is going to be their native currency, but that's not its main function. Okay, you guys? Okay, so time for the white paper definition of their utility, and it's going to be, instead of just being another currency, Developers were able to expand the functionality of Ethereum, such as having the ability to build decentralized applications known as dApps, and even launch their own tokens on these dApps. So its blockchain technology and its design was more flexible, like a software platform, okay? So it's like you can literally build your own decentralized applications, your own decentralized apps. That means it has no centralization. That means you are in control of that. It's just, when you think of decentralization, think of none of the big guys having any say so in what you're doing. So the decentralization of money, like centralization is banks, decentralization is crypto. None of the big guys can have anything to do with your crypto unless you keep it on a crypto exchange or a hot wallet or just something like that. But if you keep it on a cold wallet, it's yours. It's only yours and it cannot be taken away from you. Now, that is different from centralized coins, okay? From CBDCs. The big guys have all control over that. But for regular crypto coins, they don't. So because this is a platform and it's more functionality inside of the blockchain, that's why Ethereum is up here. Because people can use that technology to be able to do so much. And in a world that is being transformed into artificial intelligence, Ethereum, okay, that's why its price is so much. It's priced in the thousands, you guys. So, but again, the cool thing about cryptocurrencies, you don't have to buy one coin to be able to own a stake inside of Ethereum. You can buy partially into it, okay, you guys? So if you want to do that, you definitely can. And it's a great investment, you guys. This is not financial advice. Alrighty, you guys, that is it for this video. I didn't want to bombard you with too much information with these altcoins, but next video on Friday, we're going over even more altcoins. I'm giving you their white paper, their prices and things like that so that you can know how you want to invest if you choose to invest. But we're digging deep into all of these coins. So part 2 will be on Friday, you guys. And so I'm just really excited to like talk about altcoins because there are thousands of coins out there that are not Bitcoin. I'm just saying, you gotta understand nothing's backing Bitcoin. Bitcoin is backed by the financial markets. It's backed literally by the crypto markets. So that means it's backed by you and I. So if we lose faith in Bitcoin, Bitcoin dies. Hey, I'm just here to tell you guys information. But before you guys go, don't forget to like and subscribe, you guys. Your subscriptions and your likes and your comments mean so much to me, you guys. We're building it. We're getting up there, you guys, and it's happening quickly, and it's only because of you all and your support. So I thank you guys for that so much. But also, you guys, come back on Friday for a new video, and remember that pretty girls can do crypto too. Bye, guys.